Thank you. First of all, it's a interesting experience to be here. And, while we may be on different sides of things, I think one thing that is important and that we share is that, we are all in a position of power and position of influence in defining the next 20 years of this country. So in that sense, I appreciate this, dialogue between different sides. Coming to the topic, I think, the opening remarks by other speakers summarized the context very well. What I would like to talk about is that, technology is one of the many mediums that politics or, business is going to use to reach out. Politics, political revolutions, movements, all that happened even much before technology came in. We fought and won our freedom movement much before technology came in. This is not to deny the role of technology, but emphasize on the substance and the content and what is the need of the hour. What is it that finds resonance? Ultimately for all of us, the country is important. And whatever medium means it takes to build the India of your dreams will be used by different politicians or administrators and so on. I think that coming to how and what technology can do right now, one interesting thing that I find is that while there is no doubt that a lot of parties use social media really well, so do we, how is that technology that technology used to give back in the form of governance? I can proudly think of an example of our government. And for example, we are a volunteer-driven party. And we used a lot of Facebook, WhatsApp, social media as we were just actually growing. And we are still very young and we're like a startup and growing. But the way that we use technology to come to power and to find that resonance with our voters, for them to accept us as a new entity in politics. Immediately after that, we started working on a scheme which is now fully functioning in Delhi. As an example, is the doorstep delivery of services, where there are about 80, 90 services that you can now avail through a click. Now, this is also a use of technology in politics, right? And that you keep the balance. So ultimately, you have to keep coming back to, governance, feeding into politics, feeding into governance, and then you use whatever comes along the way, culture, technology, advertisements, or whatever else. I think that is where, our emphasis is. Mainly that, lucky that we actually have an IITian leader. So generally the relationship with technology is actually deep and is not something that we look as an alien concept that has to be brought in for specific things. It's only natural to use the technology that is available in the world for the larger good. So that is something that, I thought that we should talk about, is that once the parties come to power, how do they then use technology to give back to the people for governance? And, that is the main sort of goal. And I'm restating again that, all of us are on different sides of ideology but I have no doubt that everyone here has some sort of a vision or dream for in India that absolutely does not discount the fact that we have to build better schools, hospitals, give to the people, give ration, and so on and so forth. So assuming that basic agenda, let's find ways to actually enable governance better by using technology.